Hi, this is Glen Isherwood reporting here in Echuca on the Murray River. It's one of the major towns in the region, that producing towns which feeds the country. It's part of the food bowl. And I'm here in Echuca because today there was another one of the Murray-Darling Basin Authority sessions to discuss the plan to basically cut the irrigation water from farmers. And the Citizens Electoral Council and the LaRouche Youth Movement were in attendance at the meeting. And we were there specifically to expose what this plan really is intended to do. That is to kill people. Kill Australians by shutting down the food bowl that we depend on. And it won't just kill Australians, it'll kill people overseas because we're in a global food shortage. And so as these meetings have been going on over the last few weeks, they've been getting a lot more attention from the politicians in Canberra. You have on the ground a true mass strike reaction to this policy of shutdown of the basin, and this is now bringing out all these opportunistic members of parliament who are coming into the region to champion their defence of the farmers. And quite frankly, it's absolute rubbish. What you have is, at this meeting today in Echuca, we had the opposition leader of the country, Tony Abbott, came. Also Nationals Senator Barnaby Joyce, who's a favourite of many farmers around the country, very populist politician. And the other was in attendance was Sharman Stone, who was the local Liberal Party member in the area. And they all came pretending to represent these farmers and saying that the problems are, of course, trying to blame the current government and blame them for the problem of shutting down the basin. Now, we intervened in this. The LaRouche Youth Movement intervened into the event beforehand, during and after, and I'll just go through some of the highlights of that. What was really exciting was, in the event, we got to challenge the people in attendance to recognise that this policy, this basin policy, is all about cutting back the food bowl, and it is being pushed with genocidal intent, and was first pushed through under the Liberal National Party, and now the nails are being put in the coffin by the Labor Party and the Greens. And we challenged in attendance these politicians to repeal the Act. They voted it up. Are they now going to turn around and say this piece of environmental garbage, which is going to shut down our food bowl, needs to be repealed? And CEC member and LaRouche Youth Movement member Aaron Isherwood intervened to confront Tony Abbott following the event during his press conference, where the funny point was that Aaron asked a question to Tony Abbott and the other representatives there. Did they read the report? And they said, yeah, we read the report, we wrote it. And this came as a slip of the tongue from Sharman Stone, and that really signifies just how how much they're trying to cover themselves, cover their own rear ends. And as soon as it was revealed that question came from Aaron Isherwood of the Citizens Electoral Council, the three members freaked and shut down the press conference. They did not want the full story to be revealed. At every turn, they tried to deny their role in bringing this down. Now, why is this important? The reason this is important is because farmers in this region are right now very terrified about their future. The government is saying, we're going to take your livelihood away. We're going to shut down your towns. That's what this plan signifies. And they know it, they smell it, and they're terrified. Farmers know what this will mean for them, and so their fear is driving them to desperate pleas for this thing to be stopped. And this is leading them to champion the opposition of Tony Abbott and others, thinking that they're going to get some form of reprieve, some form of sort of representation. They won't. They won't get it, because they are just as much guilty of pushing this policy to shut down the food bowl. And that's a matter of the record. You should check out the DVD that we just produced called the Murray-Darling Basin Fraud, the Great Murray-Darling Basin Fraud. That DVD covers the history, so I won't go through that here. But these farmers are very, very terrified, and that means that they can be very easily manipulated. And what they have to do is step back and look at the history and recognize that the CEC warned, the Citizens Electoral Council warned that this was going to be the policy. And it was first pushed under Turnbull and the other crowd, and it's being pushed with gusto now. And what must be done to stop this policy getting through is the 2007 Water Act must be repealed, because depending on Tony Burke, the current agricultural minister and Minister for Sustainable Population, he will not lift a finger to change the agenda of depopulating Australia. The Act must be repealed, and that is the fight that we must wage. The National Liberal Coalition will not do a thing, and they're freaked because we are the ones that are telling the truth at these events and exposing that they're completely complicit in this. And farmers need to recognize that, because if they're reacting and responding to the fear, then they're not going to have a rational or a policy, a long-term solution. They're going to compromise, and they're going to get screwed by this whole agenda. So that's the report here in Echuca. There's 2 more meetings by the Basin coming up in the coming days. And yeah, grab this DVD, watch it, and circulate it as widely as possible. That's the key fight right now. So I'll leave it with that.